Last year, I figured everything out, that I had been alienated from my dad for 20 years. Today's video is specifically for targeted parents. It's 10 things that your alienated child will not tell you. Number 1, your alienated child will not tell you this, but that their other parent loves to badmouth you. Now, you probably already know this, but maybe you don't know how extreme it is. In severe cases, especially like mine, you, as the targeted parent, are one of the alienator's all-time favorite topics of discussion. And why won't your kid tell you this? I mean, it makes sense to a normal brain that if your child is being told negative things about you, why wouldn't they just come to you with this information? Well, there are a few reasons why your child won't tell you this. Number 1, this is their normal. They don't know any different. They don't know any better. They don't have another healthy relationship to compare it to if they've rejected you. So this is normal to them, and they don't know it's wrong for a parent to badmouth their other parent to them. They don't know it's wrong. Number 2, they don't want to admit that their other parent has influenced their decisions and their beliefs about you. Children who are alienated are often what's called an independent thinker, and they believe that all their beliefs and their decisions are their own. And finally, there's a lot of fear. There's a lot of fear involved. They really do believe these negative things about you. You're scary to them. So it's too scary of an idea to come to you and tell you what they've been made to believe. Number 2, your alienated child may never admit this, but they want you to love them. They desperately want you to love them, and you do love them, which is the frustrating part about this. But they believe that you don't. As a defense mechanism, your kids might convince themselves that they don't care about the relationship anymore, or that it doesn't bother them that they feel unloved, or they've been manipulated to believe they're unloved. But it does. They want you to love them, and obviously you do love them, but in their perception, which has been brainwashed and manipulated by the alienator, you don't love them in their perception due to the brainwashing of the other parent. In other words, they want desperately to have the love that you two once shared. Number 3, they might never say this either, but your alienated child misses you, even if they don't know it consciously. The rejection of a parent, when it's unjustified, causes inside of the child, and probably inside of the parent too, an inner void. And that inner void could never and will never be filled by anyone or anything other than you. Although alienated children will spend their lives, until they figure out the truth, desperately trying to fill that void. Whether they fill it with drugs or alcohol or promiscuity, exercise addictions, eating disorders, whether they try to fill it with other romantic partners, or whether they try to fill it with a stepdad who adopts them, whether they try to fill it with whatever or whoever, it will never be filled by anyone but you. It is an inner void inside of them that takes the form of the parent that they've been forced to reject. And nothing will fill that inner void inside of them except reconnecting, learning the truth and reconnecting with you. 4, your alienated child won't tell you that they wish things were different between you. Number 5, they probably won't tell you this either, but the alienated child believes very negative things about you. And now you're probably thinking, okay, Maddie, I already know that. It's obvious. Tell me something I don't know. But at least from my own experience, when I told my dad all the things I believed about him, still halfway believing him at the time, it was very scary. My heart was pounding out of my chest, and everything I told him was, he said, a million times worse than he could have ever believed. Common things that alienated children are made to believe about their targeted parents: that you are bad, that you are selfish, that you are mentally unwell, that you are cruel, that you don't love them, that you don't care about them, that you've abandoned them. 6, I really doubt that your alienated child will ever tell you this unless they learn the truth, but it's absolutely true, and it's that they're scared of getting hurt again. If they do figure things out, that fear is only amplified, but in a new way. If they figure things out, that fear of getting hurt again becomes the fear of losing your targeted parent again. Number 7, your alienated child is feeling this for sure, but they don't have the words to tell you, and they don't even know on a conscious level often that it is happening. And that's, I feel guilty for spending time with you, especially when I enjoy it. If they were being really honest with you, they would say, it feels like I'm betraying my other parent whenever we're together. It feels like I'm hurting my other parent whenever we spend time together and have fun together. I remember whenever I would spend time with my dad and he made me laugh or he made me smile, I remember quickly covering my laugh or stop smiling and almost locking myself down like a house and closing myself up. I had the feeling that I wasn't allowed to be happy with him, which looking back now makes me feel really sad. But in a way, I was mentally held hostage. I knew that if I enjoyed time with my dad, it would be hurting and betraying my mom. That's what I believed. Number 8. If your alienated child was being extremely honest, they would tell you, I'm hurting inside, even though to you, I just seem angry. Recently, I did talk to my dad and I asked him, Dad, it was really, really bad for me all those years. I was really suffering. I was in a lot of pain. I always wanted you to love me, but I was made to believe you didn't. And that caused the biggest pain inside of me and for my whole life. And I was just so sad. I said, Dad, do you remember me being so sad? Do you remember that? Did you know I was so sad? And he said that I just seemed very angry. It's interesting to me that he has the perception that I was super angry at him all the time. But my perception is that I was so sad all the time. So anger does often act as a mask for sadness and pain. I think a lot of these alienated children come across as mean, cold, angry, when they simply are suffering, and the anger is a way to mask that. Number 9, your alienated child probably won't tell you this, but it's absolutely true, and that's that I feel like I can't be myself around you. Why is that? Why can't alienated children just be themselves around their targeted parents? They have been made to believe that their targeted parents don't care about them and don't love them. There's a feeling of having to put a wall up, having to have your guard up when you're ever around them. I remember that I never wanted to show my dad the true me because I was afraid of getting hurt. I couldn't risk showing him my true self when I believed that no matter what, he would reject me. He already had in my perception. So there was no point in my head in being myself around him or trying to win his love because I believed so firmly, made to believe so firmly, that he didn't love me anyway. The person I was with my dad was someone that I was not proud of, and I wasn't that person with anyone else but my dad. Completely closed off, cold, distant, uninterested. And that was a coping mechanism for me because I guess at some level I thought that I would be protecting myself by doing that. Last but not least, if your alienated child were being super, super, super duper honest, they would tell you, number 10, it will upset my other parent if I get closer to you. They would tell you that whenever I get back to my other parent after seeing you or spending time with you, I'm bombarded by questions and accusations. It's really confusing, and I don't want to be put in the middle anymore. Not only will it upset the other parent if your child becomes closer with you, but they're also running the very real risk of losing that other parent's love. I hope that these 10 things the alienated child will not tell you has been helpful. If you have any suggestions for videos or questions that you'd like me to answer in upcoming videos, please leave them in the comments below. If you've watched several of my videos or even just one of my videos and you like what I'm doing here, please subscribe. I also have a membership for people who want to support my project. All you have to do is sign up on the top, tap the join button, and that gives you access to live Q&As that I do once monthly, the first Sunday of every month, 6 to 7 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, where I just chat with you guys, members only. We do Q&As and I answer any questions you have, talk about any topics you would like to discuss. It's my goal to start waking everybody up. Thank you for your support and thanks for watching. As always, I hope that you have a great day and I'll talk to you later. Bye.